everybody, it's Liam from Bionic Viking, and today I'll be giving my initial thoughts, or discussing my initial thoughts, on Bound by Flame, the new action-adventure RPG game coming from developer Spiders. Earlier in the week, we did a hype on this video, which you can see if you click the link in the description. Check it out, it's pretty cool. And today I'll be comparing the hype that we did back then to the actual outcome of the game. So a lot of the stuff that me and Will talked about in that episode of Hype was related to big boss fights, a long time sync game, cool companion, having cool NPCs that follow you around, overall, just general cool combat, and a variation in the different styles of weapons and stuff like that. Now, the game itself is enjoyable overall. It is, it's a little bit different than what you might usually see from an action-adventure RPG. Half the direction of this game is towards the RPG portion, and the other half, it's a little bit character action, but I don't know what it is about it. It's just in a kind of a gray area when it comes to RPGs and character action games. To start off with the combat is kind of difficult to get used to at first. It's a little clunky, the control scheme is a bit off, and the combat execution, and character movement is hard to adjust to first. After you adjust to that, though, I can guarantee this game will get a lot funner because you feel a lot more comfortable with your character, and you know your boundaries, and like how to kill something fast. Because it took me a long time initially when playing this game. I was like, holy shit, dude, these guys are really fucking powerful. But then after a while, I understood, I need to use my spells, I need to use my stealth abilities. If there's a special power that I'm not using, I need to use that. So watch out for that. But once you get a hang of the combat, it gets a lot funner. The story in this game is pretty intriguing, but it does lack depth and, a little bit of explanation. It does give some sort of justification on why you are going on this journey and, embarking on this quest, but I feel like there just isn't enough detail. But that isn't necessarily essential. This game still is fun without that, overpowering story incentive, because you get to beat on big-bellied blue dudes like the guy I just killed in the video. And then you get this giant boss reaching through half a building, stab him in the fucking hand. That's the kind of game this is. It is, it is epic at parts, but I feel like it kind of, I don't know, it needs to be more epic, like, all the time. I feel like a lot of the parts are kind of lackluster and lack that kind of, overpowering, awesomeness that you feel when you're playing a title like God of War. When you verse a giant enemy and you kick its ass and you get that affirming feeling. I mean, you definitely get that in this, but it's weird. Like, it's almost like the mobs are more difficult than the boss fights. The boss fights are different. They do, chuck in different aspects. You have to worry about different approaches to kill a boss. Like in this case, I have to take off the armor on each of its limbs, which I end up doing, and then I end up kind of cooking it with my sword. It's pretty awesome. But overall, this game is enjoyable. The only places where it falls short, and that it really could improve on, is the voice acting. The talking animations are dreadful. They're really, really hard to look past in cutscenes, which sucks because, the story itself is kind of engaging, but you just can't stop looking at their lips because they look like they're just flapping in the wind. Like, it's a really awkward situation. You're sitting there, you're like, oh yeah, alright, well, let's kill an ogre. That guy's mouth kind of looks like a vagina. It's weird, but it does. We gotta acknowledge it. So, Spiders, good job, man, but I think a lot of people kind of missed your interpretation. Point is, talking animations are bad. But yeah, no, it's a fun game, man. It just falls short on being engaging the entire time. There are parts where, like I said before, it's not really overpoweringly epic, which I feel like that's a really important thing for this game. When we did the hype, I said that that's what I was really looking forward to, but it only really delivered on the giant boss fights. I mean, the mobs, you kind of it gets repetitive, and the fighting styles and the combat doesn't really feel like innovative. I love when games do the random shit that's just crazy, like you can do a forward flip axe decapitation or something like that. That's awesome. I love when games do that. But I feel like this game is a bit too linear for, to bear an RPG title. I feel like this game would have been better executed if it was executed as a character action game. But maybe that's just because I love character action games. Like, I'm a big fan of Bayonetta. I'm a big fan Kingdom Hearts, those kind of hack and slashy character action games where it has a big focus on the story, and then combat is still fluid in those games. They're really, it's more than fluid, really. But I feel like maybe this game was it would have benefited from being pushed back a little. But, overall, I'd say the game is enjoyable. I would advise people to check it out. If you want to go ahead and purchase the game, I've heard that it isn't too much of a time sink. I've heard that it is kind of on the shorter side of things for an RPG or a hack and slash game, which is a bit of a disappointment. But, check out the game, see what others in the community have to say about it. That's my view on the game. Thanks for watching the initial thoughts on Bound by Flame. I'm Liam. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you'd like to see some more of our videos. And I'm out, man. Thanks again. Bye.